Ask to your friends if they have any problem, they can share because only 26, including me, it is 27 students. Okay, I hope you have solved the example. Can anyone tell me the equations you have got in the last lecture? We told you to find out the cycloid.
X is equal to a by 2 1 minus cos theta, y is equal to a by 2 theta minus sin theta.
Okay, now let us go for the examples. That it may be asked for your set exam or net exam, or it may be for your theory exams also, or for the physical examination. Okay. Any doubt for the last lectures?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Let us go for one. Find the curve which can give the extremal of the functional. Actually, why I am taking the same example which are in the notes, because if you are having it, you can cross check with the notes. Okay. Some two or three example that is from set or net examination that we will take afterwards after the completion of whole the second unit. Then I will give you some set net questions, the questions which are asked in set exam or net exam. Okay, when it is near about I will have near about 20 to 30 questions depending upon your variational principle chapter in the classical mechanics. Okay, so first we'll go with our syllabus and then we'll go come to our set net questions. Okay. Now let us go for the example. Find the curve which can give the extremal of the function. Find the curve which can which can give which can give extremal of the function, extremal of the functional. What is the integration I is given to us? I, which is a function of y of x. Value of integral I is given to us as the integration 0 to 1 y dash square plus 12xy into dx, subject to the conditions. Subject to the conditions. What are the conditions given to us? Actually, these are the conditions given to us so that we can find out the values of the constant while evaluating the integration. Okay. So we are provided with y of 0 is equals to 0 and y of 1 is equal to 1. You can take any initial condition. We can have the conditions to be y of 0 is equal to 1 or y of 1 is equal to 0. So we can solve by that only. Now, what is our aim to find out? We have to find out the extremal of this integral. To find out extremal of this integral, what should be the condition? The integrand must satisfy the Euler-Lagrange's equation. Correct? This integrand f must satisfy Euler-Lagrange's equation if I to be extremal. And why these conditions are given to us? So that we can find out the values of those constant term. Okay. Now let's go for our Euler-Lagrange's equation. Okay, whenever you're going to write down in this physical examination, the Euler-Lagrange's equation is, you have to write down that statement, and after that we have to write down it is dou f by dou y minus d by dx of dou f by dou y dash. Before writing this equation, we should say that for I to be extremum, what should be the condition? The integrand f must satisfy Euler-Lagrange's equation. Okay, and then you have to write down Euler-Lagrange's equation. Now f is also known to us. What is a function f? It is given to us as y dash square plus 12xy. Okay, now let us find out what is the derivative of f with respect to y. As first term does not contain any term of a y, so derivative 0 plus 12x, derivative of f with respect to y is simply 1, which is we can write it as 12x minus d by dx of f with respect to y dash. Derivative of f with respect to y dash is 2 times y dash. Okay, which is equals to 0 because there is no term of a y dash in the second term of f. So we can have the derivative is 0. So simply we are getting, if we can take 2 common or we can divide by 2 and we can get the result as 6x minus y dash. Now as it is a y dash, and again if you are going to differentiate with respect to x, it will be y double dash is equals to 0. Okay. Now these type of equation you can solve. We can have y double dash is equals to 6x. Okay. Now if you want to find out the value of this, you can find out by using integration. What will be the value of integration if y double dash is? What is the value of y double dash is? It is nothing but d2y by dx2. Right? Okay, after integrating with respect to x, we can have it is y double dash will be reduced to y dash is equals to, what is the integration of 6? It is a constant term. We can keep it as it is. What is the integration of x? X will be x
X square by 2.
So first constant we are going to include is c1. Now if you are going to integrate once again with respect to x, because what is the value of y dash? It is nothing but your dy by dx. If it is dy by dx, if you are going to integrate with respect to x, integration derivative get cancelled and v remains with simply y is equal to. Now what is the integration of x square? It will now first I will write down 2 3 is a 6, and what is the integration of x square? It will be x cube by 3 plus c1 and 1. As we are going to integrate with respect to x, here it will be integration of dx. What is the integration of dx is x plus some another constant, say c2. Okay. Now the equation, or rather we can say the solution will be x cubed plus c1x plus C2. This is what a solution we obtain. Now what is our aim to find out? We have to find out the values of those constant term also. So at that time we can use this initial condition y of 0 is 0, y of 1 is 1. Okay. So first we will use the condition y of 0 is equal to 0, then we will use the condition y of 1 is equals to 1. Now wherever you are having x at that time you have to keep it as 0, and value of y of 0 at 0 is 0, so which is equal, write down the values of x is 0, y of x, so value of x should be 0 plus c1 into x, c1 into 0 is 0 plus c2. So in this way, from the first condition we get the value of c2 is a 0. So in the very similar way we have to go for the second condition. So condition y of 1 is 1. So 1 is equals to, we have to write down the value of 1. 1 cube is 1 plus c1 into 1 will be c1 plus value of c2 we have already got, which is nothing but 0. Okay. So what I get, value of C1 again, the value of C1 we can get it is 1 minus 1. Here is 1, positive negative can get cancelled. 1 minus 1 will be 0. So it will be equal to C1 is equals to 0. So we, after putting in the above equation, what we can get is y is equal to x cube is a solution. Correct? So in this way, the very easy example we have taken how to solve the example if that your I is extremum subject to the some initial conditions, or with the help of that we have to solve by using our Euler-Lagrange's equation and use the initial conditions to find out the values of those constant term which we get after integrating our y dash. Okay, is there any doubt?
No, ma'am.
I hope I have given you one more examples to solve, no? Into I think revolution about x-axis I have given you. Okay, let's solve. Hmm.
No, ma'am.
Why? What was the problem?
Actually, actually लक्षात नाही राहिलं, ma'am.
सांगितलं होतं ना मी एक आपण ऑलरेडी एक्झाम्पल बघितलंय ना रिव्होल्यूशन
Yes,
अबाउट अ
ma'am.
very similarly we have to solve for revolution about a x-axis. Okay, do it and you have to remind me so that I can ask in the next lecture. Okay. So let us solve some another example so that the idea will be clear. The extremal of the function, actually this question was there in the set exam. I don't know exactly the date. The extremal of the function. I will write down the whole question and then we'll solve. Okay. Extremal of the functional integration of, what is integrand now? It is x cube upon y dash square dx. Subject to the condition, I will write down the conditions here only. Subject to the condition y of 1 is equal to 0 and y of 2 is equals to t. Okay, what are the options given to us for that is y is equals to x minus 1. Just like in the last example, we have obtained the solution is y is equal to x cube. In the very similar way, we have to do for this example and we have to find out what is the correct answer from the given four options. What is the next one given to us? Y is equal to x square by 2. Fourth option is equals to x square by 2 plus x minus 1. Okay. y of 1 is 0, y of 2 is 3. These are the things given to us. Now we have to solve this example by using Euler-Lagrange's equation. Okay. So don't think that very complicated example will be there in the set. We are going to study very deeply. If we are going to understand everything very clearly, then only we can solve the examples. Okay. So for that, let me solve this example. Okay, what we have to do, if I want to find out the extremal of this integration, what should be the condition? The integrand f must satisfy Euler-Lagrange's equation. Okay, you have to be very careful whether your integrand, that is integration is with respect to x or with respect to y or any other term. If suppose integration is with respect to t, at that time there should be a corresponding changes in our Euler-Lagrange's equation. Okay. Okay, let me write down here. For I to be extremum, the integrand f must satisfy Euler-Lagrange's equation. Okay, so what is your f is given to us x cube upon y dash square. Suppose the integration was with respect to t. What should be the change in our Euler-Lagrange's equation? Here it is dou f by dou y minus, instead of having d by dx, here it should be d by dt. Dou f by dou y dash is equals to 0. Okay, so here if suppose some another variables are given to you, if suppose they are providing you simply say x1 and t1, so at that time you can have say x1 and t1 if it is given. So if integration is with respect to t, you have to write down here d by dt, and here if it is only x1 is given, then we have to write down dou f by dou x1, and here it is dou f by dou x1 dash. Okay, so whenever you are going to have a integration value, so you have to see very carefully how many variables are given to us and how to solve that equation. Okay. So let us go for solving what is a derivative of f with respect to y. As there is no term of a y here, so we can write down the derivative is 0 minus d by dx of f with respect to y dash. So at that time, this x cube will be treated as a constant. Okay, what is the derivative of y dash 1 upon y dash square?
Y dash raised to minus 1 upon minus 1.
Actually,
minus 1 upon y.
y dash raised to minus 2, no? So how you are going to differentiate this derivative 1 upon y dash square? I can write it as y dash raised to minus 2, no? As it is in denominator, we can keep it as y dash minus 2. So what is the derivative of this term? We can write it as minus 2, correct? Y dash raised to minus 3. असंच असते ना derivative?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
N into x raised to n minus 1. Okay, so here we can write, here it is minus 2 as it is, and we can write this as y dash raised to minus 3. I can write here in the denominator it is y dash cube, which is equals to 0. Okay, so this minus sign we can now merge out, and then we can write it is equals to 0, and we can integrate as if you are going to solve by using the derivative, it will be complicated because we have to differentiate x and y both. By that means we have to use a u by v rule. So what we will do, we are going to integrate with respect to x to the above equation, and we are going to multiply by minus. If we are going to multiply by minus to 0, it will be again 0. So we can have the integration of this term, and okay, first we'll write down here d by dx of minus 2x cube upon y dash cube is equals to 0. This minus 2 also we can keep outside, and if we are going to keep it outside, we can divide by minus 2, it will be again 0. So we can have okay. So now if we are going to integrate this equation, what will be the integration of this equation? If you are going to integrate with respect to x, it will be nothing but x cube upon y dash cube is equals to some constant c1. बरोबर? y dash cube is equals to, what will be the value of y dash cube if it is? It will be nothing but x cube upon c1. So in this way I can write down now value of a y dash is equals to x upon c1 cube root of c1. That I can write it as x upon some c1 only, because cube root of c1 will be some another constant, say c1 dash. बरोबर ना? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So we can have I dash is equals to x upon c1 dash. Now if I want to find out the value of this term, and that means if you want to find out the solution, what I have to do is simply we have to find out the integration of this term, because what is our y dash? Y dash is nothing but dy by dx. If you are going to integrate this equation, what will be the integration of this equation? It will be integration derivative get cancelled, it will be simply y. Okay, so if you are going to integrate x 1 upon c1 dash, the constant term will be as it is. Integration of x is nothing but x square by 2 plus some another constant, say c2. Okay, so here in this way I can merge out these two constants and we can have some another constant as, say we can write it as some a 2c1 dash plus C2. So this is what a solution we have obtained. But actually we have to now use the conditions given to us. What are the conditions subject to the condition given to us? Y of 1 is 0, y of 2 is 3. Okay, these conditions we have to use. Y of 1 is 0, y of 2 is 3. Okay, let me use this condition. Y of 1 is 0, correct? And the next is given to us, y of 2 is 3. So if y of 1 is 0, so wherever you are having x, you have to put 1. And corresponding value of y at x equal to 1, it is 0, which is equals to 1 upon a plus c2. Okay, and then we have to keep x is equals to 2 wherever you are having the value of x, and y of 2 is equals to 3. So it is 2 square, it means that it is 4 divided by a plus c2. Okay, now we are having two equations into unknown, correct? So which is equals to C2 is equals to, now 1 upon A is also one constant, right? So 1 upon A is some another constant that we can rename as some B plus C2 is equals to 0. Okay, 3 plus 1 upon A. What is the value of 1 upon A? We have assumed to be B, because A is a constant term. Na? Here we have adjusted this constant term. C1 dash into 2. In the denominator we have C1 dash into 2. That will be nothing but some another constant A. So 1 upon a will be some another constant, say b. So with the help of that, we can have the value of 1 upon a is nothing but b. So it will be 4b plus c2. Okay. So now what is the value of b we have? It is nothing but minus c2. So here we can substitute the value of b as minus c2. So this will be minus 4c2 plus c2. So which will be nothing but minus 3 C2. So in this way we can get the value of C2 is equals to minus 1. If we are getting value of C2 is a minus 1, so what will be the value of B? If C2 is a minus 1, minus minus will be plus. So value of B is nothing but 1. So now we have to keep all these values in our this equation. Okay, now let us write this equation. Y is equals to x square. Okay, what is the value of 1 upon a we have? It is b. So what is the value of b we have obtained is 1. So what will be value of a if value of b is 1? गेलेत कुठेतरी सगळे.
1.
Again, it is 1.
Plus c2. What is the value of a c2 we have obtained is minus 1. So we can write it is minus 1. So what will be the correct option we have? Y is equals to x square minus 1 is the option given to us. It is nothing but second option, that is option B is a correct option. Okay. As we have solved, we are not knowing, so we are going to solve in the examination. You have to do some shortcut methods. No need to write down this equation. This equation you have to keep in a mind. Solve directly integration. Write down the constant term. And directly after solving the integration, you can get the result. It is not so much difficult that we require a time to solve these examples. Okay. You have to do some calculations in your mind and you can give the answer. The answer of this question will be option B. Okay. In this way, you can solve the examples which may be asked for your theory exam or SETNET examinations. Okay. Is there any doubt for solving these type of example? Because we have solved two example and initially we have solved one or two examples also. Correct. The shortest distance between any 2 points is a straight line, and geodesy on the surface of a sphere is a circle.
Great circle.
Great circle. बरोबर? आहेत का doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. But you have to do simple calculation. Simply use Euler-Lagrange's equation. Use derivative. Derivative आपल्याला येते. Then after using the derivative in Euler-Lagrange's equation, you have to solve and you have to find out the value of y. Okay, by simple integrations. Okay. Now, as I told you that the Euler-Lagrange's equation we have to derive in this chapter 6 times. Now we'll see the second version of Euler-Lagrange's equation. Okay, equation for several dependent variable. Okay, now we have to derive Euler-Lagrange's equation for several dependent variable. Instead of having single dependent variable, we have several dependent variable. That means instead of having simply value of y, we have y1, y2 up to so on yn, n time independent variable. Correct? Initially, we have seen the equation for where we have f is nothing but simply x, y dash. Okay, y is depending on x is independent variable. And what is the integration I? I is nothing but integration from say from x1 to x2 dx, right? So we are going to integrate with the x. Now instead of having a single dependent variable, we have more than one dependent variable. That is, let us assume it is y1, y2, yn. Okay. So in this way, we have to see now what is the effect on Euler-Lagrange's equation or what is a Euler-Lagrange's equation for several dependent variable. Okay. So actually first we will write down, rather the question may be like this, derive the Euler-Lagrange's equation for several dependent variable. Or in another way, the question may be like this, derive the Euler-Lagrange's equation that are to be twice differentiable function y1, y2 up to yn that extremizes the integral I with respect to the function y1, y2 up to yn and which achieves the prescribed value at the endpoints. What are the endpoints in this case? Again, if we have the 2 points, say point P and Q, how many ways are there to join point P and Q? There are infinitely many ways to go from point P to Q. Now, all the ways which are going from point P to Q or which are passing through points P and Q are given as y of x alpha, that we have written y of x alpha is equals to y of x0 plus alpha times eta of x. Okay, at that time we were having only single dependent variable, but now in this case we have several dependent variable. So instead of writing y, we can have yi, where i's are running from 1, 2 up to so on n. Okay, for different values of n. So as the dependent variable y is also n, so we can have value of eta I of x will be, instead of having eta, simply we have eta I. Yes, some different values of eta is. Okay. Now here, instead of having actually what is integrand I is given, integration is given from say x1 to x2 f of x y1 y2 up to so on yn and corresponding y1 dash, y2 dash, and so on yn dash dx. Okay, so this is what given to us. Now this I can write in a compact form as x1 x2 f of x yi. Instead of writing y1 y2 up to yn, we can have it is yi and here it is yi dash. Integration is with respect to x. So in this way we can have the value of I to be extremum, considering instead of having one dependent variable, 1, 2 up to so on, n independent variable we have, and the values of those n dependent variable is provided to be find out at the values of x1 and x2. Because what are x1 and x2? These are nothing but from points P and Q. Okay. Integrand I is given to us. Now we have to find out the Euler-Lagrange equation for several dependent variable. We cannot assume now that every time we have only single dependent variable. So instead of having single dependent variable, we can have many dependent variable. Okay. So here all the paths from P to Q are given by the equation y of x alpha is equals to y of x0 plus alpha times eta I of x. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're not having any doubt for this question, then we can proceed and we can solve this. Okay. What we have to do first, we have to name the all the paths which are from point P to Q or which are passing from P and Q. We can have the name of those paths. We can write it as yi of x alpha is equals to yi of x0 plus alpha times eta I of x. Okay. So all the paths passing through points P and Q can be renamed as y of x alpha, y of x0 plus alpha times eta of x. For different values of alpha, we can have different curve. But what is our aim in this case? We have to find out extremal value of this integration I. To find out extremal of this integration I, what should be the condition? We have to find out. Okay. Now actually we have already seen what is the condition for I to be extremum. The integrand f must satisfy Euler-Lagrange's equation. Okay. So here we have yi of x alpha is equals to y of x0 plus alpha times eta I. For different values of alpha, we can have different curve. These are the statement, whatever I am telling here, you have to write down whenever you are going to appear for examinations, physical examination, if it is not of a MCQ type. Okay, so what will be the condition if alpha is 0? What will be the condition? Y of x0, that means will be coinciding original, or we can have the curve which we want to follow, because if alpha is 0, this term will be 0. Okay, so what is a condition? Alpha is 0 means what? The path will coincide with the correct path. What is a correct path? It is nothing but a straight line. Okay, shortest distance between any two points is a straight line. So minimum time or minimum path followed from point P to Q will be simply a straight line. So what is a correct path? If alpha is 0, we can get a correct path. Out of all those paths which are passing from P to Q are given by y of x alpha is equals to y of x0 plus alpha times eta. Okay. Now let us go for the next. That means now we have to solve the integration now by putting all those values. Okay, y of x alpha we have now what will be y dash of x alpha. If you are going to differentiate with respect to x, it will be y dash of x0 plus alpha is a constant term, so alpha will be as it is. This will be eta I dash of x. Okay. Now, what is a condition? As I told you that in all these 6 theorems, we are going to use a basic lemma of calculus of variation. What was our basic lemma of calculus of variation? If anyone remembers, what are the conditions? If x1 is less than x2, we are provided with one function g of x, which
G
have the
of x is
condition.
identical if eta 1 of x is equal to eta 2 of x equal to 0.
Eta 2 of x is equal to one particular function given to us. And the condition, the integration of g of x, eta of x is equals to 0. Then, what is then? Then we have to prove that g of x is 0. Okay, when we can use a basic lemma of calculus of variation, if all these conditions are true, then we can use this condition g of x is equals to 0. Okay, for that, what we have to do, we have to verify the conditions of eta of x is equal, eta of x1 is equals to eta of x2 is equals to 0. For this, now instead of having single eta, we have eta I of x. Okay. So what this condition ensures, eta I of x equal to 0 ensures that all the paths are passing from point A to B, or rather P to Q. Because if suppose eta of x is 0, what will be the condition? The path will be a correct path. Okay. Correct path means what? The path is simply a straight line. If you are going to have a straight line, this straight line will pass through obviously from these 2 points. Okay. So these condition eta of x is equals to 0 ensures that all the paths are passing through the points P and Q. Okay. Now if I want to use a basic lemma of calculus of variation, we have to use this condition eta of x1 is equals to eta of x2 is equals to 0. Okay. Now we have to use this integration. What is the integration? This is nothing but I is equals to integration of f of x. X is an independent variable. We can keep it as it is. What is a change in dependent variable? Instead of having y, it is yi. Now, what is the value of yi? We have written is yi of x alpha. Okay, what is the next term? We have yi dash of x alpha dx. Okay. Now what you have to do, we have to find out the I to be extremum. For I to be extremum, we have to find out the condition. Now how to solve this? Can anyone tell me how we have done for the last Euler-Lagrange's theorem? For I to be extremum, what should be the condition?
First derivative of I must be 0.
Hmm. Okay, first derivative of I must be equal to 0. So then we can find out the extrema. So how to find out the first derivative? Let us now write down it is nothing but dou I by dou alpha is equals to 0. Now first we should find out the value of dou I by dou alpha. What is the value of dou I by dou alpha? Means what? We have to find out the derivative and inside the integration. Okay. So for that, what we have to do is actually, if the integration is with respect to x, so hence first we will find out dou I by dou alpha, then we will keep it is equals to 0. Now let us find out the value of dou I by dou alpha, and then later on we will keep it is equals to 0, and then we'll find out the what is a condition or how the Euler-Lagrange's equation will be changed. As in this case, we have several dependent variable. So if you are going to find out a derivative of this function, again we have a chain rule. Derivative of f with respect to x, x with respect to alpha. Derivative of f with respect to y, y with respect to alpha. Derivative of f with respect to yi dash and derivative of yi dash with respect to alpha. Since f is a function of three variables, what are those? X, yi and yi dash. Again, yi dash are the functions of alpha. So we have to use a chain rule if you are going to find out a derivative. So what will be the derivative? Dou f by dou x and derivative of x with respect to alpha plus next term f with respect to yi, derivative of yi with respect to alpha. So here actually you can write total derivative itself, because simply y is a function of x and alpha. So hence we can write di by d alpha plus f with respect to say yi dash and derivative of yi dash with respect to alpha. Okay. So as f is not known to us, we cannot do anything for these terms. Because f is not known to us, how you are going to find out the derivative of those? So can anyone now remember what is the value of dou x dx by d alpha we have written?
0.
Okay, why it is 0? Because x is not a function of alpha, it is independent variable. So hence we can have now I can write the value of dou I by dou alpha is equals to 0, because since we are going to equate it to 0. So integration x1 to x2, the first term is 0. So what we remains? The dou f by dou yi. Now next term we can evaluate yi with respect to alpha, because yi is known to us. So here if it is yi, so if I want to find out the derivative of yi with respect to alpha, what is the derivative? There is no term of alpha in the first term. So derivative is 0 plus derivative of yi with respect to alpha. Okay, derivative of alpha with respect to alpha is 1. So what are the terms we are remaining with? Eta I of x. Barobar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, similarly we can have derivative of yi dash with respect to alpha. Okay, so at that time you have to evaluate derivative of yi dash with respect to alpha. There is no term of alpha in the first term, it will be 0 plus derivative with respect to alpha is 1. And what is the term we are remaining? This will be treated as a constant. Now let us write down all those values. So and then we'll solve. It will be the eta I of x plus next term is, this term will keep as it is, dou f by dou yi dash, and here the next term is eta I dash of x, and and integration is again with respect to x. Okay. Now what we can do is, we cannot do about this term because we don't know a function f, so we cannot solve the integration. So we are knowing this. Okay, so we can use a integration by parts for the second term. Okay, so you have to write down the statement. By using integration by parts for the second term, we can have, what we will do, we'll keep the first term as it is plus, okay, plus the second term. Integration of this second term we have to evaluate. What will be the integration of this second term is, at that time we will keep dou f by dou yi dash as it is, and derivative of integration of eta I dash of x will be simply eta I of x. Correct? Derivative integration both get cancelled because both are with respect to x, and within the limit x1 to x2 minus the integration of derivative of our first term d by dx of dou f by dou yi dash into the integration of eta I dash of x, that will be nothing but simply eta I of x dx, which is equals to 0. Here it is equals to 0. The first term will be as it is, we'll keep it as integration x1 to x2 f with respect to yi, next eta I of x, and integration is with respect to x. Okay, now what we can say about the second term here, what is the value? We have to find out the value of eta I of x at the two endpoints x1 and x2. Okay, for the use of for using basic lemma of calculus variation, we have used this condition. What this condition ensures that all the paths are passing through the points P and Q. So what will be the condition? Eta I of x1, eta I of x2 both are 0. So what will be the second term?
0.
Okay, it is 0. So we can have integration x1 to x2. It is nothing but d by dx. We'll write down the third term here, dou f by dou yi dash. Then what is the term? Eta I of x. Integration is with respect to x, which is equals to 0. What are the terms common in the integration? Integration with respect to x, and within the limit x1 to x2, this is common. Eta I of x, eta I of x, this is also common. Okay. So we'll keep the common term outside. What is the common term? Integration x1 to x2. What is the next common term? Eta I of x is a common term. Okay, integration with respect to x, that is also common. Okay, so what are the terms remaining in the bracket? Here in the first term, we remains with only dou f by dou y minus d by dx of f with respect to yi dash. Okay. Now again we have to use a basic lemma of calculus of variation. What the basic lemma of calculus of variation tells us? G of x, eta of x equal to 0 on the condition eta of x1 is equals to eta of x2 is 0. This condition ensures that your function g of x is 0 identically. 0 identically means what? It is 0 in this whole interval x1 to x2. So here you have to write down the statement using basic lemma of calculus of variation. G of x is equals to 0. Now in this case, what is a g of x? This is nothing but your g of x into eta of x is equals to 0. So what will be the Euler-Lagrange's equation in the case of several dependent variable? Dou f by dou yi minus d by dx of dou f by dou yi dash is equals to 0. Okay, what was our initial equation? It was simply with y. So instead of having simply with y, we have yi. Okay. Any doubt with this?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Let us repeat very shortly because we have simply 5 to 10 minutes. So we'll repeat the things which we have seen. Okay. So what is the question? We have to find out Euler-Lagrange's equation for several dependent variable. Okay. So for that, what we have to do? First, we have to find out. Okay. We are provided with the integration I. That is f is a function of x, yi dash. Simply y was there initially, but now we have n dependent variable, and then corresponding to that we have found the all the possible path that is passing from points p to q, and that are written in the form of y of x alpha is equals to y of x0 plus alpha times eta I of x. Then we have written it is y of x0 is equals to, okay, and after that what is y of x0? It is nothing but a correct path. Now we have to just differentiate y so that we can find out y dash. Now if I want to use a basic lemma of calculus of variation, we can use this condition eta of x1 eta of x2 is 0. Okay, so for that, what is this condition ensures that all the paths are passing from the points P and Q. Now we have to solve this value of integration I. How to solve this? This we have to solve so that we can find out the extrema. How to find out extrema? First derivative should be equal to 0. Dou I by dou alpha equal to 0. Then we have to just use a integration by part for the second term, do the adjustment, find out the derivatives, and use the initial conditions, that is eta f x1, eta f x2 is 0, that is second term will be 0. Now take the common terms outside in the integration and use the basic lemma of calculus of variation, which gives g of x is equals to 0. Okay. Read it everyone. If you are having a doubt, you can ask. आहेत का डाऊट कोणाला?
No, ma'am.
You can leave the meeting. Thank you. Shubhangi Deli.